the way it is designed, the way it's structured, it's insulated from political transition and political manipulation, and we are focused on our mandate, which is restoring, remediating the impacted sites and restoring livelihood, starting in Ogoni, and it will be extended to the rest of the Niger Delta region. Thank you.
I'd just like to ask if there's, because we're not going to meet again for a long time. Is there anybody who wants to ask anything? Thank you. Sir, you've talked enough. Let somebody.
Donu Kogbara, my ebullient journalist, you miss my feedback if you don't let me make inputs. I may not even ask questions. I may just give some advice. I have done ESHA. I've done environmental, social, and health impact assessment for some of those companies you are talking about. And I thought I should give you the benefit of advice. When you have a physical remediation as you have, you will not get the social license to operate in the Ogoni communities if you do not have a social management plan. Your social management plan will include your health, your water, your education, all those social aspects which could proceed while you are still tendering for contractors and pre-qualifying them. And to the extent that you withhold these social aspects, which you are calling sustainable livelihoods, the people will continue to grumble. The second point is that if you do not have a grassroots participation in the process of having advisory committees at the community level, it will be only your office and the federal ministry that will be selecting projects for the social management plan. Like my sister asked, what projects do you have for this area, this LGA, this area? It is the communities who will select projects. It will be coming from the grassroots, so that it will not be seen as if only the HYPREP, which is implementing projects, is also selecting projects. And I just want to add that when I heard about the pre-qualification of contractors for cleanup, and the project coordinator emphasized it, that you need to be qualified. When you're assessing companies that just came up with multinationals, you are already putting an uneven playing field for the communities. It happened to us in the element petrochemicals. When they started, they put, say, qualification, and we went as host communities. And we said, reserve this for host community. When we get it, we'll find the person who will do it. If you do not reserve certain contracts for the host communities, you just say qualify, qualify. We will not qualify, and we will not give you the social license to operate. So if you want social license to operate, some contracts, some particular jobs must be reserved for host communities. And the host communities will now work with you to select those who will do the job. I just thought I should give you this advice. Thank you.
All right. That's more of a piece of advice for the office of the project coordinator. Just sit wherever you are. The microphone will roll to you. It's going to roll to everybody as long as you have a question to ask, please.
The coordinator, I just want to thank you for inviting me for this, because this will appear to me the first time I'm participating in your program. I can appreciate the problem of initial startup, but from what you have said here, you have been operating for about a year now. And when I listened to the minister, he was talking of us taking interest in what you are doing so that we can give effective feedback. Now, it's a bit difficult to give feedback if you don't know what is going on. I would think that now that you have settled down, if you have a clear strategic plan for this project, because we say it is a project. If it is a project, there should be a strategic plan and strategic action plan. The question is, what are they? I mean, when you are answering one of the questions, you say the project has a lot of sequence, processes, Okay? Is it possible for us to have a strategic direction or goal that we are pursuing, and then the actions that we need to carry out in order to achieve that goal? If possible, with timelines, broken down within so and so period, this is what we are going to do, so that as we follow, we'll be able to monitor and observe. We said we are going to do this between this time and now. To what extent have we succeeded? If there are challenges, what are they? What can we do in order to readjust it without missing the goal? I would think that when we meet again like this, it will be easier for us to say, last time we met, this is where we were, this is where we are going. Because if we keep coming to say that we are doing this without being specific, it will become a bit difficult. Even when we talk of livelihood, what are they? What are the items? Are we talking about Greek? Are we talking about manufacturing? So that people will be able to know what to key into. I would have thought that if it is really an Ogoni stakeholders meeting that we're holding today, I would have thought that as we are sitting down here, you have talked about business opportunities. Those business opportunities should be rolling there on the screen so that people can go back and say, look at this, these are the opportunities that exist. And like Professor Lord said, are all the activities the same, that they must have the same statutory requirement for people to key into? Are there not activities with lower requirement and those with higher requirement in the entire chain of the project, so that people can find where they can participate without grumbling? Because like he said, if people are not on the same page, especially from the economic point of view, and others are being seen as those who are benefiting, that is where the problem is. And I guess that is why some of these rumors you are talking about are going out. I also believe that some of these activities, we can also see the cost component. If you have them in timeline, the cost component, and people will say, yes, this is what these people are doing. They are spending the money rightly. But when everything is put under clean up, livelihood, you remember what our sister said. He said, what are you cleaning? To what extent are you cleaning? Somebody can decide to dry clean his clothes or wash it as his backyard, and it's all washing. So what are we cleaning, and to what extent are we cleaning? So I think if we begin to share some of these informations when we meet like this, it will be very, very fine. And when we also want to do press briefing, let's call it press briefing. When we want to do stakeholders, we do stakeholders. Because some part of this event, we could confidently have sat behind our television, if given the time, watch, and then we go away. Thank you.
Yes, the project coordinator may want to, or do we take all the questions? Okay.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Dr. Eddie Wikina. I used to work in an oil company. So I want to share a little bit on the experiences that we had when we were faced with challenges with communities on projects. I think it's something that I can share with you, Coordinator. Most of what they've said, I think it boils down to how much of this $200 million will be residents in Ogoni when it's all finished. That's the bottom line. How much of the $200 million can you go back to see in Ogoni and say, out of this 100 million, 10 million, 20, 40, or whatever can be physically captured in Ogoni? Not all of them being carried to Lagos, Abuja, to develop other economies. We are looking at the economic benefit of this project in Ogoni land. That is important. And I want to share with you what we did. It's a good thing you are following your due process. I'm not going to quarrel with that. Continue, because we need some means of transparency in how we do business. But even in that, you can always tweak your processes when dealing with communities. I have suggested that we can segment your contracts into 4. Create a special tier of contract, especially and reserved for the host communities. Create another tier of contracts for Rivers State or Niger Delta if you want. You create another tier of contracts for Nigerians, and the last one for international companies. And each of these tiers we have their predetermined contract values. And that will be able to enable every section to have a share of these contracts. Then the gumbring will reduce. Otherwise, I'm afraid, we are only going to help to use our own opportunities to improve economies of other people. And it will not be fair on Ogoni people who have suffered so much. I just want to share with you that that is one way we should go. Then, they've talked about the devilish aspect of your cleaning and your polluting. It is a devilish combination. You cannot clean and pollute. At the same time, the young boys who are doing these things, the artisanal refining in the bush, in the forest, you know, it is difficult to get them out of that business if you don't create an alternative for them because they are hungry. And I think you have said it before that it's not your mandate, but please, together with the minister, work with your colleague, please, the Minister of Petroleum and Commerce. They need to use our resources in Ogoni to build industries that will keep these boys out of the bush. They need to do that immediately. It may take 5-10 years, but if you don't start today, it will never get there. We cannot solve this problem here. But if we have one big fertilizer plant in one area of Gokana, 3,000 of those boys will be trained. And I can bet you they will leave the bush. So let us start to think about how we can build economic projects on Ogoni land. And not be talking about giving license to illegality. I don't support that. We cannot support artisanal refining. It is wrong and we must condemn it. But we must produce alternatives. Thank you.
All protocols observed. My name is Marvin Yobana. I'm from Ogoni. There are 3 questions I really need to ask. The first one is the BOT chairman, right? During his speech, he mentioned that they've been able to secure a foreign account where this money has been lodged. My question to that will be, is it an escrow account? And if it's an escrow account, it means it has interest. You get some dividends back. Because I know I have a small escrow account and they give me some small dividends every month and so on. So the Ogonis will want to know how much was lodged in that account and how much has it accrued since that time. That is number 1. Then the second question is this. In the UNEP report, the first recommendation in the UNEP report is that provide an alternative means of water supply for Ogoni people. That is the first recommendation. I want to also ask, how much or what project since then, since day 1, has been able to provide alternative means of water supply in any part of Ogoni, even if it is water they carry by tank as an intervention purpose, like what we were doing in some other parts in the north. It happens where you have emergency, NEMA and other agencies go, they take water, they produce. I remember that Shell did something in Ibubu sometimes in terms of emergency. So I am asking, are the Ogonis still drinking that polluted water till now while waiting for contractors to be pre-qualified? That's my second question. Then the third, all these multinational companies and whoever will come and clean Ogoni land. We have in Ogoni young people who don't have jobs and they don't have the skills to be employed by these companies while they are doing their jobs. Won't it be wise for us to also train our people in preparation of this project? At least in all the communities that are impacted, we start training our people so that these companies will give them a mandate. Apart from your supervisors, the rest you must take from Ogoni land. And our people will now have hope and own up this job. And they will now see this project as their own project. These are my 3 concerns, and I think I should share it to the House. Thank you very much.
My name's Chief Joseph Obaresiaka. I'm from One in Eleme local government. May I pray to stand on all existing protocols? My good people of Ogoni land, I want to tell us one single truth. Truth is bitter, but we need to tell ourselves the single truth. This thing, the news we are hearing today, that money is in account. 1 year ago or 2 years ago, some of us thought it's a child play. Buhari will not do anything as an Hausa man. Now, it has come to reality that money is on our table. Let us think of how to make peace and eat this money. Our PC here is a son from Ogoni. Even the most interesting part, the interviewer said in an international is an Ogoni woman. What do you think that Ogoni man did not know for Ogoni man? Please, the truth is bitter. Let us allow our son we have choose to use the instruments around him to operate in Ogoni land. All our wisdom and knowledge, we should pass it to him. I believe if we abandon all the ideas, too much ideas we have, we are going to succeed. Even there is a good way. When our brother, Professor Ben, made a comment here in support of what Kagote president said, he said there should be food on the table for Ogoni people while this cleanup is going. What I was expecting from us today is to call our brother, Dr. Kevin or Marvin, to think of a way for Ogoni man to eat out of the pot. I'm very happy